Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our eighth class of this hybrid English course. Please confirm if you can hear me. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Okay, could you please speak now, Elias?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, so
All right.
welcome, Elias, Mariela, Rosangela, Luis, to this new class. Let's start our way because we have a lot of exercises to review and we have to introduce a new topic this morning for tomorrow. Remember that some of you have a presentation for tomorrow. I hope you're ready. And remember that you have until today, okay? You have until today at midnight to finish the practice on the platform, okay? There will not be any more opportunity after today to finish those practices, okay, because we need to publish your scores in the platform, and the deadline is today, specifically for me tonight, okay. So you have until midnight to finish your practices on the platform, okay. Remember that you need to have at least 60 points or more to pass from module 1 to module 2, okay. You need at least 60 points. If you don't have 60 points or more, you won't pass to the module 2 of this course, okay. That is the basic requirement. So, with that being said, let's start our morning debate with this easy scenario. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the college degree. Due to the COVID 19 and the advancement of online classes and YouTube and many other platforms that can be used to, to know or to learn a skill, we have a new situation. Okay, so tell me, Elias, do you have a question? Okay, so we have a new situation, and it is that many people are learning things and developing skills without a diploma, without going to college. So that raises a question, right? That raises a question. Is a college degree becoming unnecessary? We have many successful entrepreneurs who never finished university. So, is it something that we should look forward to? Should we encourage our kids to go to college? It is something necessary or it's becoming unnecessary. Think about that for a moment and then we will hear your thoughts.
Teacher,
Yes.
sorry, I was talking, but my microphone was mute.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Teacher, I need to tell you something. Can I stay at listening to the class because I have to do something, but I don't want to miss the class?
Okay, you won't participate?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay, it's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so that's more than enough time to gather your thoughts. So let's start with Rosangela. Rosangela, what do you think? Should we encourage people to get a college degree nowadays?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Teacher, I think the college degree is necessary, but um, um, uh, one person have a job, a good job, if it's not necessary to go there. But I think it's necessary to go because the education is more structural. Is you have a diploma
Yeah.
in, in skill and you grown and it's different. Other people um, see you in other play. You understand me?
Okay. Okay.
Yes. I think it's necessary, teacher.
Okay. Thank you, Rosangela. So Rosangela thinks it's necessary to go to college, okay, to earn a college degree. Let's continue with Mariela. Mariela, what do you think?
Good morning. I think it's necessary college degree, but no, it's not an obligation because you can be a successful person in business without have a degree. But in some field, you need a degree because the area require this knowledge. But I think both are important because you can learn about something in real life or using platforms like YouTube or, for example, Coursera, where there are a lot of information and knowledge, and you don't need go to the college.
Okay, go to college, okay. Okay, interesting. Mariela. Luis Enriquez, what do you think?
Good morning. Um, in my opinion, it depends on the career. For example, in medicine or as a lawyer, you need it because you need validation to do some works that are so important. For example, if you are going to make a surgery, you have to validate that you have what it takes. But in some careers, it's not necessary. For example, in my career, um, my best job I never had is my current job, and they didn't look for degree. They didn't ask me for degree, but for my experience. And I have a lot of example of friends and coworkers that didn't finish their career, but in fact the degree is like a self, or how can I say, um self satisfaction,
Okay.
because you achieve a goal. But to be pragmatic, sometimes the university takes a lot of time, and you can do some courses, and you can, at the same time, you can studying but work in the same time, and you are going to get experiences that will help to get a better job, because the better jobs or um, pay more for experience than for degrees. In my career, because there are some careers that some degrees help you to increase your income,
Okay.
but it depends. It depends.
Yeah, I know what you mean. When you have a diploma, you have that sense of accomplishment. And
Yeah.
sometimes that is important for the person. Not necessarily because it's going to earn more money, like you were saying, but because you feel better about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
society evaluates you and judge you based on the amount of diplomas you have or the level of preparation you achieved. So yeah, sometimes it's not about the money,
Yes,
it's about your that sense, okay, of I did it, I have it. Okay.
yes, but that society validation is changing, because there are people that know now the the experience is more valued than a degree, because, for example, if you have a degree but you cheated in your test, and you don't have what it takes to accomplish your work, it doesn't matter if you have a degree, because when you start to work, they will notice that you don't have it, that you don't have the knowledge. And post pandemic, the people now know that you can work without a degree, even from your home. And the society is changing. It's changing a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, post COVID-19 everything well have been
Mm-hmm.
changing, at least in that area, well many areas, but that area included, where now people are knowing or know that they can earn money just by developing a set of skills, in a specific set of skills. Okay, well done, Luis. Let's continue with Stephanie. Stephanie, tell us, Stephanie, what do you think?
Good morning, everyone. In my opinion, a university degree is not necessary. It all depends on the individual's skill, but preparation is important.
Yes, it is. Okay, short but interesting. Okay, tell me, Elias.
Teacher,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, okay, okay. I almost about. I want to talk teacher about it. Finally, you have a topic that is not a debate, because I'm totally agree about Luis' opinion. Because when some people apply to a job and have an interview, nowadays is I think it's more important your skill and experience more than your college degree. For
Okay.
example, in computer science, contability, and some others career are not necessary the college degree. I know that is important because, for example, medicine or odontology, something like that, you have to prove that that you have the skill for applying a job and something like that. But some people in this career too, because for example, if you are an odontology, you have to pass a test first. If you don't apply, if you don't have the sufficient skill about it, you don't get a job. For that reason, I always have agreed with Luis that experience, real world skill, and something like that are more important than the college degree. We have to get a balance, but I'm totally agreed about it.
Okay. Thank you, Elias. I will
You're
tomorrow.
welcome.
I will compensate this, and I will bring something for debate. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. So let's continue with Sadiel. Tell me, Sadiel, what do you think?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I think about that. Um, we have several uh, ways to obtain the knowing uh, one type of education. By example, for example, in Info from level 1 to level 4. And the university, the number 5 to number 8 level 5. What kind of education have uh, a goal in input for the work, operation, and it's for work right now. But in the university, no, not for right now. It's for uh, more more long time. Every type of education is necessary for a type of people. That, that's my thinking.
Okay. Well, you work with technical degrees, right? At Infotep, that's what you do. You teach a technical course, but some people can develop those skills, right, without needing a validation from Infotep or without going to Infotep, just because they spend a lot of time with someone who knew and they got the necessary skills. So yes, we have that reality too, that people can know how to perform something or how to do something without needing a degree. Okay, we'll talk about that in a moment, a little more. Tell me, Noemi, what do you think? Thank you, Sadiel.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Well, the college degree becoming unnecessary, well, is not becoming unnecessary, but however, yeah, I agree with some of the guys that which say that there are many jobs that you could do just having the experience. Like, I, as I said, some people, okay, if you don't like a study, if you feel like it's not for you, because I do understand that there are people that they just don't like it. So just do something that you could do in life and you could earn money without having to go to college. But I don't think that is becoming unnecessary. For me, it's necessary to have a college degree. But do you understand?
Yes.
I think that what is the word? Saying the opposite, like,
Saying the opposite?
never mind. Yeah. So what I mean is, it is not becoming unnecessary. It's still necessary. However, yeah, you could do something in life to earn money without having one. That's my idea.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you, Noemi. Okay, so as you guys said before, I think that some professions have the luxury of not requiring a college degree. Like, for example, or for instance, software engineering field is a field where some employers value skills and experience over a college degree, over a diploma, because those are practical fields. But some other fields, however, like in the case of medicine, as you said, Luis, lawyer, those fields require you to go to college, to earn a college degree, to have a diploma, because you need a license to practice. It is not enough to know how to do something in those areas. You need to know, you need to you need to develop a way of thinking, and you develop that while being in college for many years. We recently had, for example, a recent situation here in DR, where a barber shop performed um, a surgery on a woman because he used to practice or to help a surgeon, a proper surgeon with a diploma, with his surgeries, right? And because he has spent so much time with the surgeon, he thought he knew how to perform a surgery because he memorized all the techniques, maybe, or all the procedures. But when he tried, someone died. I think that he operated in three women, and one of them, the last one, died. Because when we're talking about medicine or a lawyer or being a lawyer, but in this case, medicine, and we're talking about a surgery, which is a practical procedure and is a skill to do all the procedure. You need those skills, right, to do all the procedure, and those steps that we have to do are repetitive. We do the same thing over and over again. It's the same thing with little changes, but normally it's the same steps because they are described in the literature, and we have to reproduce them with little changes, but normally it's the same procedure. But that is not enough. Okay. However, that is not enough. We need to know how to interpret, for instance, the patient's vital signs. When a doctor is performing a surgery, it's not only about the procedure, it's also about interpreting correctly those vital signs. How is the patient breathing? Is the patient breathing? How hard is the patient breathing? When we are doing a procedure, we have to take into consideration many details that we don't talk about them, we only see them. And we learn about that through our time in college, through our time in a residency, where we see this over and over again. Okay? So when we talk about medicine or being a lawyer, even if you know how to make a procedure, it will not be enough. And I don't think that that will ever change. I think that those fields will always have a special place where you need to go to college, you need to learn those skills because you need more than just skills. You need to develop a way of thinking and a way of interpreting the signs that you see in a patient or the symptoms that a patient is communicating to you or telling you that he or she has. Okay. In the case of other fields, more practicals, like, I don't know, being an accountant or a software engineering, well, you if you have the necessary skills and you can do the job and you can do the work, well, they will hire you. In the majority, or at least some employers will do that because they value skills over a diploma. And we have many stories of successful entrepreneurs like Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, who never finished college and have a huge, well, it's like how can I say this, a fortune. They have this huge fortune. They have this huge business that they build without having a diploma. But that is normally the exception. although in that field, people can still earn a living without having a diploma. Tell me, Noemi.
Oh yeah, teacher. I'm just curious about what kind of surgery did he perform?
I think it was an aesthetical surgery.
Oh wow! So do you know that that happened a lot in odontology? Many people they do the brackets
Yeah,
and they don't even know how to do that process because you know that master degree, I think that is how we call it, is you have to spend 3 years and is I have to go every day to college like you are studying from the beginning. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So I don't know how people can do that right. Honestly,
Yeah, because people
but
think
yeah, that's so bad.
Yeah, because for example, you're an assistant to an odontologist and you see him performing, he only is putting pieces on your teeth and then this, I don't know, maybe this iron or titanium cable to put it all together or to keep it all together and you think to yourself, well, that's easy. I can do the same thing. But it's not that easy. Everything is planned. It's not only about putting those pieces there. They have an X-ray and they evaluate your cavity and they know how to adjust it in order to make it work and look so good at the end. So you need preparation for that. You need to go, for example, if you want to put I think that the term is brackets. I don't know. I think it's brackets. If you want to put brackets on people, you have to go
Yeah,
to
brackets.
Okay, you have to go to Brazil because here in DR, as far as I know, because my brother is an odontologist, he doesn't practice odontologist, but he is an odontologist. He's a dentist, and he told me that if you want to put brackets on people, you have to go to Brazil, and there you will specialize in that specific area, and it will take like 3 or 4 years to do that. So it's not that simple. It takes time, and we're talking about an aesthetical procedure. So it has to be done properly. Otherwise, you're going to mess it up. Okay.
Of course. But teacher, you still can study here. The thing is that it's too expensive. It's like 3 million pesos
Okay.
in Unive. You can study here. Yeah. And also, besides that, you are being prepared as a doctor to do whatever you can. So you know if some consequences come with the process. You know what I mean? Like something can come wrong. You are prepared to act.
Exactly.
And I don't know here, but in US you have malpractice insurance.
Yeah.
Of course, if you don't have the college degree, you can be protected by that law. I think
You
so,
will
right?
you will go to jail immediately if you don't have a license.
Yeah.
You will go to jail. Not the pay there. And for example, to allow Luis to speak, let's talk about the injection. You know that nowadays it's very common to hear or to to hear people talk about the injection, the GLP-1, which is an injection to reduce weight, to lose weight. So what is happening now is that some fitness enthusiasts, they think they know how to do this, and without a medical degree or a master's degree in that specific area of using those medicines on people, they are injecting it to people. They are prescribing it to people, but they don't know, like you said, how to manage the consequences when that injection goes wrong, when the application goes wrong, when there is a symptom that is a result of the medication. What would you do in that case? If the patient is vomiting, what would you do in that case? If the patient is having constipation, what would you do in that case? So, or what if a patient has a weird reaction? What would you do in that case? You don't know. You don't know what to do in that case because you don't have the enough preparation to know how to deal with that. Or do you know when not to apply it or recommend it to a patient because that patient does not meet the requirements? All of that information you receive when you do a master's degree in that area. So when it comes to health, when it comes to a complicated process like the law, you need to go to college, you need a degree, and you need the law to give you a backup, to back you up if something goes wrong. For example, I have a number, right? We call that here an exequatur, right? I have this number. That is the number that, if I have a situation with a patient, will back me up because I am a certified practitioner. And that code, that number, it's what is guaranteeing that I finished a full process of learning in college. Okay, so we need to remember that. And also as a recommendation, especially for women, if you want an aesthetical procedure, don't look the person who does it cheaper. Okay, if you don't have the money to do it, just don't do it. You need to look for a prepared person, and you need to do your you need to investigate in Google. I don't know, go to a surgeon society related to that area, and look for the surgeon who is going to perform your surgery, because many women in this country are losing their life, are dying because they're looking for the cheapest option because they don't have the money to do it, but they want to do it. If you don't have the money to do it, I'm sorry, you shouldn't do it. Okay? Tell me, Luis.
Talking about the barbershop surgery, in the middle age, the barber performed surgeries, especially dentist surgeries. Uh, it was crazy because in the middle age it was about test and error. Some people or many people went to the barber shop to get a surgery. So that's a old case. It's not new, but with the pass of time, there are regulations.
Yeah.
But I remember too that when I was a child, when I went to the hospital and get I don't know how to say receta, but I get the medicine, and some people in the neighbor
Prescription.
prescription, exactly. Some people in the neighbor injected me, but they were nurse or doctor. But with the pass of the time, that changes. It's not common now. Some people do it, but it's not common.
Yeah, when they do that, they do it on their own risk. Okay, they do it on
Yes.
their own risk. Okay, guys, that was an interesting topic. Let's continue. Let's continue. We have a couple of exercises to review. This class is going to be based primarily on that because we have many exercises. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Let's start with the first one. Error correction. Okay, so let me look for my laser here. Okay. Okay, so number one and number two. Who wants to read number one, number two? What is wrong with number one and number two? Are you kidding me? No one?
Oh yeah. So since nobody's speaking, oh yeah, somebody got raised some
But it's
hand.
okay, it's okay. Continue.
Okay, when I get home, I'll call you. So the mistake here is the will,
Yes.
and the second one is if it rain tomorrow, we'll stay home. So will again is
Yeah.
a error.
Is the error. Okay. So if it rains tomorrow, we can also say that here, right? Because this is our first conditional. We need to, right? We have the S here. If it rains tomorrow. Okay, this is the correct form. And as Noemi said, we don't use will never here with if, and we don't use will with when. Okay, never. Okay, Rosangela, 3 and 4.
Number 3. After she will finish work, she will go on shopping. The correct is after she finishes work, she will go shopping.
Yes, well done.
Number 4. Before he will leave, he will look the door. Before he leaves, he will look the door. No use will.
Okay, so no will, no will. So before he leaves, no leaves, he leaves.
He
Yeah, he
leaves.
will lock the
Lock.
door. Yeah, lock the door. Okay, let's
Lock.
continue with number 5 and 6. Thank you, Rosankala. Number 5 and 6. Tell me, Luis.
Let me try it because I missed the last class. Although it was raining, we played soccer. Soccer. The error is the but.
Yes.
However, she was tired. She. Huh? No, she was tired. However, she finished the race. Is that okay?
Could you please repeat?
She was tired. However, she finished the race.
Okay, yes, yes. So in this case, we have to use she was tired, the first part of the sentence here. We need a period here, and then we need however followed by a comma, which was the explanation that I sent to the WhatsApp group on Friday, I think. That you have to keep in mind, especially if you haven't done the practice, because this rule, you have to use it to distinguish however from whereas. Tell me.
So Eliana and I, we are confused about the period.
The period.
So I thought that, about however, you said we have to put a period before the however, but I thought that was com, no period.
Yes.
We have to use, yes, actually that was what I sent, because I know that we discussed that on Monday, and
Yeah.
we needed to have that clear for the practice. So in the case of however, because it is not a conjunction, we have to use it with a comma. I mean, we need a period before, or a period and a comma before however. So we have a period, and then we use however, or a period and a comma, and then we have however, because it is not a conjunction. In the case of whereas it is used as a conjunction. That I think it was the thing that we needed to explain on Monday, but we didn't. This is normally a detail that you know when you write a lot in English and stuff like that, because when you're speaking, you don't see that difference, you don't hear that difference. But when you are writing, you need to know that difference. And because we are doing exercises with conjunctions, and the exercises are taking into considerations the grammar rules like the comma, the period and the comma, we have to remember that. Okay, so
Okay, so I was a little confused because I use always, however, like but, and when you use but, you don't have to put a period, just a comma.
yeah,
And it's similar for that reason.
yeah, it is a common mistake. I used to do it like that too. I was a little confused with that because we normally don't write that much in English. But yes, the thing is that, however, it's not a conjunction. It means the same thing as but, the same thing, that didn't change. But when we are writing, because Americans, the American grammar does not see however as a conjunction, they don't use it as we use but. We can use but only with a comma because it is a conjunction, a contrast conjunction. The same thing with whereas, but in the case of however, it's not a conjunction. So it is not in the middle of a sentence.
Thank you, teacher.
Yeah, but it can be at the beginning of a sentence, and in that case, we use a comma. So, for example, if I have this sentence right here, however, she was tired, she finished the race. I only need a comma here. And I can keep this whole sentence just like this. But if I have she was tired and I want to use however, I need a period. Then I introduce however and I add the comma. So I can use however without a period if however is at the beginning of the sentence, like in this case. Okay, let me erase that. Okay, so in this case, I can do this and it's right only by adding a comma here because however is at the beginning. However, she was tired, she finished the race. In the other version, the one that Louis said is she was tired, period. However, comma, she finished the race. Okay? So it will depend also on the position we find, however. Obviously, the second option is the most common one in the middle because we can use however at the beginning of a sentence, and in some cases, we can even use however at the end of a sentence. You remember when we were explaining though? I think that we explained though in the class. I like this, but I like this. I won't go though, or I like this. I won't buy it though. We can replace though and say however. I like this. I won't buy it however. So it is a weird way of using however, at least for me. But in the interchange book, they use however at the end of a sentence. It's an informal way of using however, but it exists and it is also possible. Okay, so many things that we can do with however. It can be at the beginning, it can be in the middle, or it can be at the end. But depending where you put it, the rule is going to be different. Okay, so let's continue with number 7, right? 7 and 8. Mariela.
Number 7, the answer is if water reaches 100 degrees Celsius. 8. She is friendly and she is intelligent. Whereas it's wrong here.
Okay, okay. Yes, so excellent. If water reaches 100 Celsius, it boils. She is friendly, whereas it's wrong here because it introduces a contrast that we don't have in the sentence, right? Because she is friendly and she is very intelligent are not opposite ideas. They're actually ideas that complement each other. So we need and. She is friendly and she is very intelligent. Okay? And the last one, although and when the class. Tell me, Rosangela.
Number 10. When the class will finish, I will go home. The correct is when the class finishes, I will go home.
Okay, when the class finishes, I will go home. And number 9, although,
Nine.
yeah, this one that says, although he studied hard, but he failed.
Yes. Uh, although he studied hard, he failed. No had but.
Yes, yes. So here we have to eliminate but because we can have although and but in the same sentence, okay? There will be
Yes.
a contradiction between clauses here if we allowed although and but in the same sentence. Okay, let's continue. Okay, second exercise. Okay, so choose the correct connector. Okay, so let's see. Number 1 right here. Here we have the options, right? When, after, before, although, however, while, whereas, and but. Okay, so let's see, Stephanie.
The number one is when the teacher arrives will behind the lesson.
Arrives. When the teacher arrives, will begin the lesson. Okay, when is correct. This one. When the teacher arrives, will begin the lesson. Number 2, Stephanie.
Turn off your phone before interacting the classroom.
Okay, turn off your phone with an F. Phone. Turn off your phone before entering the classroom. Entering. Entering. Okay, let's continue with number 3 and number 4. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Tell me, Mariela.
After finishing my homework, I watch a movie. And number 4, she's very intelligent, but she is very confident.
Okay. Okay. So after finishing my homework, I watched the movie and she is very intelligent, but she isn't very confident. We can see here the comma. Tell me, Rosangela, my brother and I want
My
to.
brother enjoys basketball, whereas I prefer soccer. I want to buy the car wherever it was too expensive.
Wherever or however?
However,
Okay. So my brother enjoys basketball, whereas I prefer soccer. Okay. We have here whereas, we have while. Okay. They are practically the same, right? Whereas is more formal, but they share the same structure. We use them after a comma, so it's okay. I wanted to buy the car, period. However, it was too expensive. Okay, and the last two ones, the last remaining ones. Luis?
Although he was nervous, he gave an excellent presentation. My father loves action movies, whereas my mother prefers romantic films.
Very well. Okay, easy peasy, guys. Let's continue. So here we have two changes and contrast. Exercise 5, changes and contrast. Rewrite the evidence statements using the target word in parentheses to reflect a shift in state. So the city is different now. The city has become very different. Okay, so let's see number 1 and number 2. Here we have the weather is colder now. How can we say this using get? And my English is much better today. How can we say the same thing but now using the verb become? Okay, remember that we use these verbs get, become, turn, change, grow, become, grow, get to express change and contrast. Okay, tell me, Stephanie, number one, number two.
The weather has gotten colder. My English has become much better.
Okay, the weather has gotten colder. There we're using the present perfect that we learned at the beginning of the course. My English is much better now. My English has become much better now. Remember that the verb become, the past participle is become. So it's become, became, become. Okay, let's continue with the leaves are yellow and the company is different now. It's easy. You just have to use
Me.
the present perfect. Okay.
All right. Number three is the lips have changed. I'm sorry, have turned yellow.
Yes.
And the company has changed different now.
Okay. Well, you can only say have changed, and that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like doesn't sound good,
Yeah,
right?
it doesn't sound good, and
Okay.
the sentence is transmitting the idea correctly with that word because the company is different now is the same as the company has changed. So we don't have to add different now because has changed. It's transmitting that idea too. Okay, let's continue with the next two. He's stronger than before. The technology is more advanced now. Tell me, Rosangela.
He has grown stronger.
Okay.
And the technology has become more advanced.
Technology has become more advanced. Okay. Let's continue with number 7 and number 8. Mariela.
My brother has grown thinner now in the last. The traffic has gotten worse than last year.
Okay, my brother has grown taller and the traffic has gotten worse than last year. Okay, so pretty easy. Let's continue with this one. Zero or first conditional. Diagnose each conditional statement. Does it belong in the zero or the first category? So let's see. Okay, number 1 here and number 2. If people don't eat, they become hungry. Zero or first conditional? Tell me, Rosangela.
Zero.
Oh, Noemi, tell me, Noemi. Okay, it's a zero conditional. Noemi, number 2. If it rains tomorrow, we'll stay inside. Zero first.
Number one.
This one. If it rains tomorrow, we'll stay inside. First or zero?
I said number one. Do you hear me?
Oh, okay. So you say number 1 to say first?
I'm sorry. The second one that you asked is type one.
Oh,
Type one, yeah.
okay. The idea is that we normally say zero or first conditional, never one conditional, just first or zero.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that confused
Okay.
me. Okay, let's continue with Rosangela. Rosangela, if I finish work early tomorrow, I'll call you. Zero or first?
Tomorrow, first conditional.
Okay. If babies are tired, they cry. Zero or first?
What is the teacher? If baby are tired, they cry. Zero conditional.
Zero conditional. Okay. Luis, if you freeze water, it becomes ice. Zero or first? If you said something, Luis, that was too fast, you have to say it again. Okay, apparently Luis is not there. Let me ask someone else.
Sorry, I was muted.
Okay,
I think is zero.
okay, it is zero conditional. And if I save enough money, I'll buy a motorcycle. Zero or first? Luis, are you there?
Sorry, it's for me too.
Yeah,
First.
first. Sarah, if she studies tonight, she'll pass the exam. Zero or first conditional?
Teacher, can you repeat, please?
Yeah, this sentence right here, this one. If she studies tonight, she'll pass the exam. Is zero or first conditional?
First conditioner.
Okay, number two, Sarah. If you don't sleep enough, you will feel tired. Zero or first?
This is zero.
Okay, okay. Well done. Let me see. Judith. Wow, Judith, welcome
That's
back.
right.
So, Judith,
Teacher,
yes?
the last one, the last one was zero.
Yeah, it's zero too.
What is the okay? Can you read it again? With
If you don't
is
sleep enough, you feel tired.
okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Tell me, Judith, if dogs feel threatened, they bark. Zero or first?
Repeat, please, teacher.
If dogs feel threatened, they bark.
Okay, is zero condition.
Okay. And the last one, Judith, if my teacher gives us homework tonight, I'll do it.
First condition.
Yeah, first
Is
conditional. Yeah, first conditional. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is good. Okay, so now complete the chain of events. Provide the effect for each given cause. Right. So if I have enough money next year, what would happen? So here you have to add the effect. For example, if I have enough money next year, I'll travel abroad, I'll buy a new car, I'll move to a different country. It's just the effect. The thing is that it has to make sense. That's the only requirement. It has to make sense. Okay? So, the first one, I already said it. So let's continue with number two here. And number three, if people don't exercise, what happens? What happens if you don't exercise? Tell me, Luis.
If people don't exercise, they lose shape.
Okay.
If my phone battery dies, it turns down.
Okay. Okay. We're missing something here. Um we need the consequence with will, right? In this case. So if people don't
It will
exercise,
turn down.
they will lose shape. Yeah, they will lose shape, or they will not stay in shape, because we normally say stay in shape, or they will become unhealthy. the effect will.
Okay.
And if my phone battery dies, what was what you said?
And then I corrected. If my phone battery dies, he will turn down.
Okay, it will turn down. Okay, let's continue with the next two. If I finish my homework early, and if students practice English every day. So as you can see, we're dealing here with the first conditional because we're not talking about things like a general rule, but we're talking about a specific situations with different outcomes. The outcomes can be different. For example, Luis said that if my phone battery dies, it will turn down. I can say if my phone battery dies, I'll charge it. So the outcome will vary from person to person. It's not the same outcome for everyone. Okay, it's not like the water, right? That if it reaches 100 Celsius, it boils. That is a fact. But these are not facts, okay? These are possible outcomes from specific situations. So we will use will in all of them. Rosangela, okay, if I finish my homework early,
I will watch a movie.
okay.
Five. If students practice English every day, they improve quickly.
They'll improve quickly. Okay. Let's continue with if my alarm doesn't ring tomorrow. Oof. Or if I visit another country. Tell me, Mariela.
If my alarm doesn't ring tomorrow, I'll be late for work. And if I visit another country, I learn about a new culture.
Yes, I learn about new culture. A Dominican will say, I will drive safely. I will respect all the traffic lights, right? That's what we do when we go to another country. But we can't do it here. Why can't we do it here? Okay, let's continue with the last three. If you drink enough water, if I become a millionaire, and if the weather is nice this weekend. Tell me, Luis.
If you drink enough water, you will be healthier. If I become a millionaire, I will do philanthropic work.
¿Cómo?
Philanthropic work.
Yeah.
If the weather is nice this weekend, I'll go out.
Okay. So, Luis, if you become a millionaire, I want you to take me as your first philanthropic work. Okay. I want you to invest.
But if you are a rich one,
No. I need philanthropic work. Okay. I need it. So, if you become a millionaire, take me as your first subject. Okay. I want to be your first successful story. Okay. Thank you, my friend.
What kind of work is that, teacher?
Philanthropic?
Yeah.
The things that Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg like to brag about. When you help people, giving them money or giving them houses or scholarships.
Oh, okay. All right.
or start a foundation.
Yeah, start a foundation to steal money, sorry, to help people and stuff like that.
Okay.
To avoid taxes. Yeah, that's why they do it.
But it's the better way to avoid taxes because you are doing a good work.
Yeah.
So some people do it the bad way because they don't help people and still avoid taxes.
Yeah, that's the reason why the billionaires do it. Mark Zuckerberg does it, Bill Gates does it. All of those rich guys, they do that because it will help them avoid taxes. So it's not that they care
Yeah.
about other people because their company says otherwise. It's because they want to avoid taxes. So they linked many things to the. For example, we have a situation here, and I think that that will be a good debate for tomorrow. Some people,
Yeah.
some people, for example, have a church. So what they do is, because church are exempted from some charges and they can avoid some taxes because they're non-lucrative, well, they connect their businesses to the church to avoid paying any taxes. So
Mm-hmm.
the same thing happens with a foundation. Okay, so rich people use the foundation to receive money or to use money, so they don't have to present it at the end of their fiscal year. I don't know, something like that, and they can avoid taxes. You have legal ways to do it. Like for example, when you buy an expensive car, you put that on the company, and you don't have to pay taxes because it is deductible from the taxes you present. I'm not very
Uh-huh.
good at that topic, but I have heard that before. My brother has told me about that, and they use their company. That is a legal way of paying less taxes. But when we're talking about foundations, ONG, and churches, well, the things are more complicated because you have, how can I say this? The rule is even more flexible for you because you are a non-lucrative foundation, and none of the things you receive, you have to explain why you receive it. I mean, if a church deposits $1 billion, no one question where that money came from. I mean, no one. But if I deposit 1,000,000 pesos, everyone wants to know where that money came from. So they have like this. How can I say this? In Spanish, is fe pública, like this trust from the government and the bank entities that they can deposit all the money they want. And that is one of the reasons why some churches are used to launder money. To launder money. ONGs are also used to launder money, and some foundations are used to launder money. But that is beyond the ability of the law to detect that because they can ask questions to where the money is coming from.
I don't agree that church accept that kind of help. But in the case of philanthropy work, I agree because if you have many ways to avoid taxes, but you do it that way, at least you are making something good at the same time because you are helping people. It doesn't matter the intention, but the result. So in my opinion, if I were them, I do it for help to help. But some people don't. So some people just want to avoid taxes. But at the end, the results are there. The result works.
Okay, so the end justifies the means, Luis said. Okay. Okay, the end justifies the means. Okay.
I didn't say that. I said that you have many ways to avoid taxes, legal ways, by the way, legal way.
Yeah.
But if you have one that can help people, do it because you are going to make some benefits work.
Okay, okay. We will talk about that tomorrow too. Okay. So let's continue with exercise number 8, sentence transformation. Restructure the pair statements into a single cohesive sentence using the connector key provided. Okay, so number 1 and number 2, this is easy, guys. Rosangela, we're almost finishing.
When I leave, I will call you.
Okay.
And after we ate dinner, we watched a movie. We watched a movie after we ate dinner.
Okay, you can say it either way. After we ate dinner, we watched the movie. After, well, it means something different, but yes, it is possible too. Okay, let's continue with 3 and 4 here. Before and although, before and although.
Before, okay. Number three, lock the windows before you leave.
Okay.
And the other one is the app also.
Yeah.
There are two of them.
You have although.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. Never mind. Also, he was sick. He went to the work. He went to work.
He went to
Sorry.
work. Okay, thank you, Noemi. The next two. She likes tea. I like coffee. The laptop is expensive. It is excellent, Luis.
She likes tea, whereas I like coffee. The laptop is expensive. However, it is excellent.
Okay. And the last two. The weather improved. We continue hiking. My brother studies engineering. I study medicine. Mariela.
The weather improved, but we continued hiking. And my brother studies engineering while I study medicine.
Okay, I don't like this second, this sentence right here because it makes no sense. It's not your mistake, Mariela. It's mine here because I was the one who brought it. It says the weather improved, and then he adds a but. The better connector here would be so. The weather improved, so we continue hiking, right? Because if it improved, there's no contrast. But if you say the weather didn't improve, but we continue hiking, it makes sense, okay?
Yes, I got it.
Yes. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, let me see. We have this exercise. Okay. So let's do this right here. This will be the last one. We will review this one tomorrow because time is over. And tomorrow we will talk about an interesting topic and you will do an interesting exercise. Remember that those of you who have a presentation, tomorrow is the day of the presentation, okay? I think that Luis has a presentation for tomorrow because he didn't do it on Monday, last Monday, and Stephanie also will have her presentation and they will be the first ones.
Yes, teacher. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so briefing document. Let's see this. So here we have this briefing document. Who wants to read it? Who wants to read this document?
Me.
Go ahead.
Okay. Briefing document. Technology has changed our lives dramatically over the past 20 years. Also, many people believe technology makes life easier. Others think it creates new problems. So later the letters, okay. Before smartphones became popular, people communicated differently. After social media appeared, communication became faster but less personal. If people spend too much time online, they sometimes neglect their relationships. However, technology also provides educational opportunities and helps people connect with others around the world.
Okay, thank you. So let's answer these questions right away. And when we finish this, the class will be over. So, what has changed dramatically? Question number one. And question number two, what happened before smartphones became popular? Popular, sorry, is popular. Tell me, Rosangela, number one, number two.
Number one, the technology is changing. Smartphone became popular. People communicate differently.
Okay, people communicated differently. What happened before smartphones became popular? Well, people communicated differently. And the first one, technology has changed our lives dramatically. Dramatically. Okay, let's continue with number three and number four. What happened after social media appeared? And number four, what is one possible consequence of spending too much time online? Go ahead, Rosankara, if you have it.
Okay. Um, what happened after social media appeared? Communication become faster but less personal. Number four is one possible consequence of spending too much time online. People sometimes neglect their relationship, no relationship.
Okay. So in this case, Rosangela, the verb is because the sentence is in the past, what happened. So we have to answer in the past. So communication became, not become, became in the past. Communication
Became fast.
exactly became faster but less personal. Became. And the last one, so people sometimes neglect. That's the
Neglect.
pronunciation, neglect their relationships. Okay, let's continue. Number five and number six. What is the meaning of the word neglect, right? Because we're using this word right now, but what is the meaning of that? If you neglect your child, if you neglect your relationship, what does that mean?
I think it's negligence.
Yes, to fail to do something. In this case, to look after, to pay attention. You fail to care properly. So if you neglect your relationships, it's because you're failing at paying attention to those relationships. Okay.
You had
Uh-huh.
had a lot of time in online,
Yes.
know with the people.
Yes, you spend more time online and not with the people. That's why we communicate more now, but it is less personal. Okay, so only four questions left. Anyone else? Number five, which
Yeah, teacher.
okay,
Num-
which contrast
Number
connect you into
five
this
would
is a
be
different
however.
opinion? Okay.
Sorry. The for me, I could be however.
Okay. And number six, find one example of change. Do you have
Is
any?
that question for me?
Yeah.
Is that question for me?
Yes.
Of change. One example of change. Technology has changed our lives dramatically.
Okay. Yes.
Is that okay? The question, because like,
Yeah, it is
all
one
right,
example of change because we're even using the word the verb
all right,
changed, right?
yeah, yeah.
Everything has
Because
changed.
at first, okay, at first I was thinking about connectors. What does that mean? But they are okay. Maybe it's just a example, as it says. Okay.
Yes. Communication became. Remember the verb we were using a couple of slides before? Get, become, change. All of those verbs normally express change. Find one time clause. That's an easy one. One time clause in the text. One time clause. We have, again, I am seeing two now. Tell me, Mariela.
One is before smartphones became popular, people communicated differently.
Differently, yes. Before, right? We have here before, time clause, after, another time clause. And the last one. Is the conditional sentence zero or first? Explain why. But which sentence, right? Because it's too wide the question. Tell me, Mariela. Let's see what Mariela comes up with.
Uh, is first conditional because in the sentence there are in the structure of the sentence there are two sentences in present simple.
Okay. Well, that's true. Okay. Yeah, that's practically it. Let me see. Tomorrow we have the presentations. Okay, so tomorrow we will deal with this exercise. Remember that you have to find the time clause with when, with before, with after, contrast connector, expression of change, zero conditional, first conditional, present perfect verb, simple, present simple verb, future sentence, zero conditional, and present perfect verb. Again. Okay, so we will do that tomorrow, and tomorrow we will talk about the anatomy of a character. So this lesson will help you improve your knowledge about adjectives to describe a person, as I said on Monday, but you will be able to describe a person in a more sophisticated way, in a more mature way. And at the end, you will have to write a text describing yourself in a really polished way, in an advanced, well, in this case, intermediate way. Okay? We will also see the difference between um, because and because of. We will also see or discuss some personalities plus preposition, some structures that normally come with a preposition and a specific preposition. What else? What else? We are going to talk about gerunds again. Remember that we have been talking about gerunds. So tomorrow I will talk again about gerunds, and we will see the gerunds here as noun. You will learn how to distinguish a gerund from a present progressive tense or from an adjective. It's pretty easy. So it's going to be really interesting. Many things to do tomorrow. And we also have the presentations. Okay. So if you don't have any questions, guys, if everything is clear, this will be all for this class. This class will be available in a couple of minutes. So if you don't have any more questions, remember the practice on the platform, and see you again tomorrow uh, at 6 p.m. Okay? Sharp. Goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
The day is
Bye.
young.
Bye,
And nice
everyone.
morning, everybody.
Bye bye.